Hello, everybody again. Pick up Isaiah here, chapter 23 and 4. The prophecy against Tyre. Wail, you ships of Tarshish, for Tyre is destroyed, and left without house or harbor. From the land of Cyprus word has come to them. Be silent, you people of the island, and you merchants of Sidon, whom the seafarers have enriched. From the great waters came the grain of the Shihor. The harvest of the Nile was the revenue of Tyre, which became the marketplace of the nations. Tyre was Sidon was very important markets and ports at that time. Be ashamed, Sidon, and you fortress of the sea, for the sea has spoken. I have neither been in labor nor given birth. I have neither reared sons nor brought up daughters. When word comes to Egypt, they will be in anguish at the report from Tyre. Cross over to Tarshish, wail, you people of the island. Is this your city of revelry, the old city, whose feet have taken her to settle in far-off lands? Who planned this against Tyre, the bestower of crowns, whose merchants are princes, whose traders are renowned in the earth? The Lord Almighty planned it, to bring down her pride and all her splendor, and to humble all who are renowned on the earth. All those who build themselves up, peoples, places, nations, so forth, all be humbled. Till your land, in farming, till your land as they do along the Nile, daughter of Tarshish, for you no longer have a harbor. The Lord has stretched out his hand over the sea and made its kingdoms tremble. He has given an order concerning Phoenicia, that her fortresses be destroyed. He said, no more of your reveling, virgin daughter of Sidon, now crushed. As a warning to those coastal cities. Up, cross over to Cyprus, even there you will find no rest. Look at the land of the Babylonians, this people that is now of no account. The Assyrians have made it a place for desert creatures. They raised up their siege towers, they stripped its fortresses bare and turned it into a ruin. Wail, you ships of Tarshish, your fortress is destroyed. At that time, Tyre will be forgotten for 70 years, the span of a king's life. At the end of these 70 years, what will happen to Tyre is in the song of the prostitute. It says, take up a harp, walk through the city, you forgotten prostitute. Play the harp well, sing many a song, so you will be remembered. At the end of 70 years, the Lord will deal with Tyre. She will return to her lucrative prostitution and will ply her trade with all the kingdoms on the face of the earth. Yet her profit and her earnings will be set apart for the Lord. They will not be stored up or hoarded, shared with all. Her profits will go to those who live before the Lord for abundant food and fine clothes. This is part of post-rebirth of the world. Chapter 24, see, the Lord is going to lay waste the earth and devastate it. It's coming. He will ruin its face and scatter its inhabitants. It will be the same for priest as for people, for the master as for his servant, for the mistress as for her servant, for seller as for buyer, for borrower as for lender, for debtor as for creditor. No one will be escaping it. The earth will be completely laid waste and totally plundered. All nations fell, all peoples gone. The Lord has spoken this word. The earth dries up and withers. The world languishes and withers. The heavens languish with the earth. The earth is defiled by its people. They have disobeyed the laws, violated the statutes, and broken the everlasting covenant. What is mentioned in this last message? His commandments, distorted, twisted, cast aside. Therefore, a curse consumes the earth. Its people must bear their guilt. Therefore, earth's inhabitants are burned up, and very few are left. The new wine dries up, and the vine withers. All the merrymakers groan. The joyful timbrels are still. The noise of the revelers has stopped. The joyful harp is silent. No longer do they drink wine with a song. The beer is bitter to its drinkers. The ruined city lies desolate. The entrance to every house is barred. In the streets they cry out for wine. All joy turns to gloom. All joyful sounds are banished from the earth. The city is left in ruins. Its gate is battered to pieces. So it will be on the earth and among the nations, as when an olive tree is beaten, or as when gleanings are left after the grape harvest. They raise their voices, they shout for joy. From the west they acclaim the Lord's majesty. Therefore in the east give glory to the Lord. Exalt the name of the Lord, the God of Israel, in the islands of the sea. Praise God, turn to God now. From the ends of the earth we hear singing, glory to the righteous one. All heaven, glorifying God. But I said, I waste away, woe to me. These are the ones that be crying out in despair. The treacherous betray, the treacherous betray. Everybody turn on each other. Terror and pit and snare await you, people of the earth. That's darkness. Whoever flees at the sound of terror will fall into a pit. Whoever climbs out of the pit will be caught in a snare. There will be no escaping. The floodgates of the heavens are opened. Foundations of the earth shake. Oh, so soon. The earth is broken up. The earth is split asunder. The earth is violently shaking. I already mentioned that. last 2 messages ago. Things boiling, boiling underneath the world, underneath the surface. The earth reels like a drunkard, it sways like a hut in the wind. So heavy upon it is the guilt of its rebellion that it falls, never to rise again. Earthquakes, volcanoes, probably. In that day the Lord will punish the powers in the heavens above, the kings on the earth below. They will be herded together like prisoners bound in a dungeon. They will be shut up in prison and be punished after many days. Soon will be the moon will be dismayed. The moon will be dismayed. The sun ashamed. The Lord Almighty will reign on Mount Zion and in Jerusalem, and before its elders with great glory. But things got set. Things are right. Praise God. Praise God. Hallelujah. So again, everything. Believe it, don't. Warning's been given many thousands of years ago. People have not heeded them. So turn to the Lord, turn away from things of this world. I beg of you, for your own good. Peace of Christ, God bless.